Hello everyone. Sunday evening, 2 days after the FA Cup game against Manchester United, I'm in a weirdly reflective, sombre mood. I'm being a bit quiet today because I think we might have just seen the death knell of Arsenal's season. I'm still optimistic. I still think in the long term we are probably this season genuinely one of the top 4 teams in the country. I think not on form obviously, but I think in the league with our home form we are good enough to be up there. We showed that against Chelsea, but as I said at the time, although no one's actually watched the video, so you wouldn't have known, but go back and watch my Arsenal Chelsea video. Chelsea were bad. They were bad. And, you know, I've said it a million times, we would have beaten them at their place if it had come a couple of weeks later into the season rather than the second game of the season. Because, make no bones about it, that result on Friday showed just how bad Chelsea were. We put out a good side against United. I thought it was the stronger of the two sides, although Man United's side wasn't exactly weak. It was written in the stars that Sanchez was going to score against us, as it was Lingard always does well against us at the Emirates. But the performance wasn't as pacey and direct as it should have been, like it was against Chelsea. And this is why I'm saying that in the league, I think with Tottenham, the way I think they will start to fall away with they haven't got their first team, their first 11. Fair play. They finished above us for the last couple of years, and they are as good as anyone on their day. They've lost 3 players, all from the front. Kane, Ollie, and Son, and they will start to fall away in the league now. I genuinely believe, because I don't think their squad is as deep as it should be for a top 4 challenging team. But we're clinging in or thereabouts. But we are losing so many defenders now. It's not even funny. Mustafi and Koscielny looks like he might have a broken jaw. Monreal is out. Holding is out. Bellerin's out. I mean, these are big losses. I mean, they shouldn't be big losses for a club like Arsenal, because a few of them shouldn't even be playing, to be fair, in my opinion. So generally thought that this season we had a chance of being one of the top 4 teams in the country. I still think we might still be, if we can sort that defence out, maybe get someone in. But for some reason we're looking at wingers and forwards in the transfer window. I made a prediction on Friday morning with a Man United friend of mine. I said that we would draw 2-2 at the Emirates and take them back to Old Trafford and probably lose quite heavily there, because they'd had to put out a stronger side, and it's got back in. We probably wouldn't have done. I was surprised to see just how strong a side we did put out. I called at the time. I said it was going to be Czech and goal. That was obvious who was going to play. It would have been Jenkinson, Mavropanos, or maybe Lichtsteiner instead of Jenkinson, or maybe the both of them, one playing that position at left full back. I wasn't sure who he would have put in midfield. This was this is what I was saying. And then I imagined that Ozil would have started, and then Lacazette and maybe Willock or someone like that, or Nketiah. I didn't expect both Aubameyang and Lacazette to start, and I suppose that shows he wanted to go out and win it, but we didn't show it as much on the pitch. I thought we played well in patches, and we probably. I think the fairest way to say it is that the more clinical of the 2 teams won. it stings a little bit because the FA Cup, and I love the FA Cup, always have, always will, and I like a cup run. But you know, it's one set of fixtures now out of the way. I suppose it helps us concentrate on getting into that top four. Because, like I said, I think Spurs will fall away. I think Chelsea might as well, actually. Come to think about that, let's talk about that instead. Because look, the FA Cup, it's done, it's dusted. It was a weird performance that I don't know. It just goes to show the Jekyll and Hyde nature of our club at the moment and where we are. We've got no identity as such as a team going forward at the moment. I don't know where you lay the blame at that, but we lost to Man United. It's not like we lost to Sheffield Wednesday or Crystal Palace. We'll come on to that in a bit. So I genuinely think. So I'm a big long pause in this one because I'm trying to get the words in the right way. I don't want it to come across as bitter or whatever. But I think in the league, if Chelsea continue to play the way they played against us, and they probably won't now that they've got Higuain there, but they weren't great against us, as I said before, and that's what makes that performance against Man United sort of throws it into stark contrast, you know, just how bad Chelsea were. From the manager to say, you know, we need a shake-up here. But I think if they carry on the way they go, I mean, he's come out and he's had a go at Eden Hazard, and you don't really do that at Chelsea. You shouldn't really do that anyway, really. So I think that they might start to fall away. And when I was talking to my Man United supporting friend, I think that Arsenal and Man United might creep up into the top four again. We might have that, you know, with Spurs falling away in my head and Chelsea doing so. I think Ollie's got Man United playing football again. He's not done anything major. He's not some sort of master tactician. He's just come in and said to some of the best players in the world, go and play football. Simple as. And that's what they're doing. And, you know, they'll start to tear up the league because they're just like, listen, boys, just go out and do what you got to do. I might have a job, I might not, it don't matter. Just go out there and show everyone how good you are, and let's make a mockery of what Jose was saying. And they're doing that, to be fair, aren't they? Which is good in a way, because I really don't like Jose Mourinho as a manager. So yeah, you know, let's as far as Arsenal go, let's do that. Let's concentrate on the league, maybe the Europa Cup. I think he wants Champions League football next year, obviously. So he's going to put all his eggs in that basket. So he's going to try and get into either fourth or Europa League. Like I say, it's a strange comment because I did think he put out the stronger side against Manchester United. But there we go. That's over and done with. We roll on to the league, the next match. But because 2 days now, it's a bit old hat. I'm like I say, I'm over it. But what I'm not over, and what I can't stand, is the current level of biasness. Biased is the right word? I don't think it is. The current level of bias that the media are showing Tottenham Hotspur. Now, I don't know if anyone's seen it, but if you go onto my Twitter page, on my Twitter feed, at Gooner Armchair, you will see that I've responded to a column that Ollie Holt, has written saying that we should admire Tottenham Hotspur and the way they run their club and how they are who they are. Two of his key points. One of them is that they have established themselves ahead of Arsenal in London now, which I'm pretty sure they haven't really. They've finished above us a couple of seasons. Can't say anything more than that. Granted, they've done it. But they haven't won a title since before colour TV. After colour TV. So that's a bit odd. And they haven't won an FA Cup or a trophy for 10 years. At least 10 years. So I'm thinking that they're not even as big a club as Leicester at the moment, because Leicester have won the Premier League. So as far as going, you'll have to excuse my dog. As far as establishing themselves ahead of us, that's a nonsense, Ollie. Your second point that you brought up is that we should applaud them for losing 3 semi-finals in 3 years. They got to 3 different cup semi-finals in 3 years. They've lost them, but that is an achievement for Tottenham Hotspur. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Maybe it's because he's talking about Tottenham, and I'm not having a dig. Maybe it's because from where they were to where they are, it is an achievement. But we shouldn't be lauding Poch or the club because they're losing. Why should we? What, all right, Eddie the Eagle Edwards. Yeah, we love losers, do we? Is that what it is? You don't want the successful teams getting more praise because they already get enough. So let's just sort of share it all around a bit. Losing about a club that can't even afford to build their own stadium properly, didn't finance it properly. It's run massively over budget, massively over time, but they're being lauded in this press. This is not even an anti-Spurs rant really. As a Gooner, this is like I said earlier on. It's about the press and the way that they, for some reason, they let this sort of stuff slide for them. Like today, Steve Sidwell, a former Gooner, a former Chelsea player, is commenting on the BBC online, where they relay the scores and stuff on the BBC webpage. He's saying that Kieran Trippier's penalty today, the wind put him off. The wind blew the ball and put him off. I mean, what a melt! What are you talking about? John Cross on Twitter from the Mirror, how he is a chief sports writer or football writer, whatever it is. He can't do banter. He had a I can't stand the word banter, but he can't do it. He had a pop at Crystal Palace's goalkeeper, which went down like a lead balloon. He's bigging up and praising Tottenham. He's got his head so far up the Tottenham collective backside, it makes Piers Morgan's relationship with Donald Trump look strictly platonic. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous how they're getting away with this nonsense, with this crap. I can't get it. No other club. It used to be that Liverpool were massively represented in the media, and so were like a media-friendly club, if you like. They still get a bit of an easier ride than most because there are still a lot of ex-Liverpool players that are pundits and whatnot. But for some reason, Oliver Holt saying we need to look up to this to Tottenham as a club. No, we don't. We really don't. And it's not an anti-Arsenal Spurs thing. It's just an anti-losing thing. We shouldn't look up to clubs that are trying to win stuff but don't quite make it all the time. Oh, you did so well. Let's look up to the clubs that, like Liverpool, for instance, right? They're a massive club. They've won European Cups. They've won numerous titles, right? They went into the doldrums. They've still, even in the space where Spurs haven't won a title, they've won European Cups and they've been to a European Cup final. Even in the Premier League era, which apparently is when football actually really properly started, and that's it, as they say, as David Brent says in that episode of The Office, and that's the real game, and that's the real quiz, and that's what it is, that's what it always was. This is what suddenly football is all about, it's just the Premier League era. Even in the Premier League era, Liverpool winning Champions Leagues, FA Cups, Europa Cups, or UEFA Cup as it was then, the proper style. I read something somewhere, if Spurs don't win anything in 2019, so I don't think they're going to win anything now because they're out the FA Cup, they're out the League Cup. I don't think they're going to win the Champions League. I just don't think their squad is strong enough. I don't think they're going to win the league. So if they don't win, well, that'll be it. Because they can't win anything unless they win a charity shield or something. I don't know if they'd get that. It'll be the first decade from 2000 to 2010, 20. Hang on, no, I've got that wrong. From 2010 to 2020, it'll be the first time they haven't won a trophy in a decade, in an actual full decade. Calendar decade, I suppose you call it, like the calendar goal scoring. You know, he scored the most goals in a calendar year. We're supposed to look up to this club. Arsene Wenger used to get top 4 every year, 20 years on the bounce, right? Let's say 20 years on the bounce, he got top 4. Financed a new stadium, moved into a new stadium, sold his best players every year to pay for that more than anything else. Still got top 4. We were told top 4 wasn't a trophy. You need to actually win something. Won the FA Cup, tin pot. Won 3 FA Cups in 4 years. It don't really mean anything, does it? Because Tottenham haven't won anything. Yeah, but they're better than you because they brought Harry Kane through. That was lucky. They shipped him out to so many different teams on loan, and in the end, Tim Sherwood stuck him in and went, "Have a go, son. I've got Adebayor and that idiot from Spain, Slodado. You can't be any worse. Give it a go." That worked out well. It's like when Twitchy, Harry Redknapp gave Gareth Bale, pushed him forward instead of playing him at left back. Well done. Genius move. Arsene Wenger brought kids through. Come on, let's be honest. That's what he did. Do you know what I mean? He did that. Did the stadium, won trophies. What I'm trying to say is, if you're trying to compare, I mean, I guess you're saying, you know, it's how the mighty have fallen. But it's about the media coverage. Yeah, and it's just bonkers. It's just absolutely crazy. And that's what's got my goat more than losing in the FA Cup this year. But that's done. It's all over. Rant over. It's Sunday night. I'm going to go out, go to bed, chill out and start a new week and forget that this one ever happened. Cheers for watching, if you have, because no one watched my Chelsea video. Click like, click subscribe, comment away. Come and join in with me on Twitter at Gooner Armchair. I'm on Facebook as the Armchair Gooner. I'm on Fan Vibe. That's fan FANVYBE.com. Come and chip in over there as well. They're a really good website over there. You don't get any of the stupid nonsense that you get on football Twitter. It's actually worth a laugh. It's actually a decent place to go, and people, you know, I've not had one bad comment or negative in terms of, you know, nasty, spiteful sort of things. So it's a much better place than football Twitter, really. But just whatever it is you are doing, enjoy your football properly. Don't be a knobhead like the geezers at Millwall Everton the other day with the fighting and the slashing the geezer's face. Just, it's football, you know. Like I say, I'm over it. I'm done. It's the FA Cup for another year, but at least we lost to a decent Man United side and not Crystal Palace.